Okay, now welcome to the last stop on this tour bus. To the top where I was told hard work would lure us. Sure enough, look where I'm headed. The opposite direction of the life that I dreaded.
Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim. This is a Cash Killing AC Sports Report. Game 3 of the World Series just wrapped up. We know how the first two games have gone. Game 1 was a pitching game. The Cardinals, behind Chris Carpenter, come out on top. Game 2, behind a pretty solid start from Colby Lewis and the bullpen holding it down with some timely hitting, the Rangers come back and win. Game 3 shifts back to St. Louis, to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, where everyone believed that the hitting was going to come alive. Well, it did, and it is now a 2-1 Cardinals lead in the series. Cardinals win 16-7, and to most people, including myself, if you said that at the beginning of this game, one team was going to win 16-7, I would say, wow, is that even worth me watching? But then you go inside the box score and you see what actually happened. Albert Pujols, one of the best hitters, we can stop saying of my generation, of this decade, of all time. Tonight, he went out and had probably the best game in the history of the World Series. 5 for 6, 3 home runs, and I gotta look up how many RBIs he had, but he tied with, I think, Babe Ruth for the all-time amount of RBIs in a playoff game. This guy, he went out there and had one of the best games in the history, 6 RBIs, in the history of baseball, of the World Series for sure, and he's putting up the Cardinals 2-1 in this series. Let me go back and take back something I said halfway through the year when I said I believed Adrian Gonzalez was the best player in the MLB, and I would have even told you that after August. But since August, Gonzalez and the Red Sox choked and missed the playoffs, while it went the complete opposite way for the Cardinals, who came back, they won it, and behind Albert Pujols and Chris Carpenter and a few other people, but mostly Albert Pujols in the lineup, the Cardinals are two wins away from a World Series title, and Albert Pujols is just putting himself in a position where this is going to be like a LeBron James type free agency. He's not as polarizing as a figure as LeBron James, simply because I don't know, the NBA is just looked at as in a different way than the MLB is. But man, this guy, the Cardinals have got to lock him up. 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, 5 for 6 in the World Series. Here's a guy who, I gotta look up his career stats. Give me a second here, because I don't want to misquote a single thing that this guy has done in his career. I mean, this year he had 299 with 37 home runs. That's a down year for Albert Pujols. That's a career year for just about anyone else. A career average of 328. He has 445 home runs, which means sometime in the next 2 years he's going to hit 500 home runs. We are watching one of the best players in the history of the MLB. And you guys, if you don't understand that and you needed someone to tell you that, you always kind of thought about it, but you didn't think, oh, Albert Pujols is just a really good player now, but he's not one of the best of all time. He's one of the best of all time. We like to put guys like Kobe Bryant and LeBron James and Tim Duncan in the conversation in the NBA. Well, Albert Pujols is in the conversation in the MLB. I don't think he'll be the greatest, but what he has done is he's put himself in a position where everyone says Ted Williams is the greatest overall left-handed hitter in the MLB. You want to find me a right-handed hitter who has done what Albert Pujols has done in his career? You want to find me a guy who's had the power, who has had the just overall hitting ability? What power hitter doesn't strike out and can bat .330 in a season? None in the history of the MLB, except maybe Babe Ruth. And obviously he's a left-handed hitter, so he doesn't count. I mean, you don't get that. Willie Mays, Hank Aaron. I mean, those are the names Albert Pujols is in the company of right now. And the guy's one of the best fielding first basemen in a long time. Albert Pujols is the complete package and one of the best players we have ever seen step on a baseball diamond, and people need to begin to respect that and realize what this really means. And if you haven't watched the World Series, man, you have missed out. Game 1, great game, Cardinals come out on top. Game 2, great game, Rangers come out on top. Game 3 had some great moments. If Alexi Ogando, who's really been the dog of the series, doesn't allow Pujols to hit this first home run and the game remains 8-6, well, then the Rangers could have come back and won this game. But Alexi Ogando, who for the third game comes in and gives up at least a run. I mean, the Cardinals, look, the first 2 games were classics, and the third game had a milestones in it. And what I'm getting to is that what you are missing with this World Series is potentially the first epic World Series since 2001 when the Diamondbacks played the Yankees. I know 2002 went to 7 games, but there's something special about an epic World Series, and this seems to have that feeling. This seems to be like one of the best World Series you can get. You got one team has been very good throughout the entire year. One team, some people would say, is just hot right now. But they have the right people stepping up, and they have one of the best players in the history of the game getting it done in a big way in Game 3 of the World Series. This series, to me, is only going to get better. I wish it was in St. Louis because I wish you could see more of just the 3-2 games. But hell, the Rangers could come out next game and win 11-10, or the Cardinals could come out and win 13-10, or something like that. These have been great games, and I've been asking for years, and MLB is finally giving it. Well, the MLB isn't doing shit. Bud Selig's probably at home. I'm not even gonna say what I want to say, but Bud Selig's probably just sitting at home watching TV, flipping back and forth. Flipping back and forth between Law and Order and the World Series, thinking, "Oh, the Yankees aren't in. I don't give a shit." But I mean, my God, you are watching a very good World Series right now. Enjoy it because it's only going to get better as we go on, and we will be here to cover it all. I'm Tim. I'll see you guys later.